Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as well. This is the Collector Car Podcast, the home for the auto enthusiast. Join Greg Stanley as he applies over 25 years of insights and analytical experience to the collector car market. He will interview the experts and throw in some fun stuff as
Hey, it's Greg Stanley. Thanks for live streaming with us. This is our very first collector car fantasy football, and I'd like to thank the folks from Haggerty and RM Sotheby's for support for this event. If you'd like to play along, you can go to thecollectorcarpodcast.com and pull down the rules as well as the sheets for playing. So I would like to invite some folks to this podcast here. And you can see we have quite a group of folks here. So for those of you that don't know these people, I would like for all of us to introduce ourselves, starting with Julie. Take it away, Julie.
Hi, everyone. This is Julie Gooscallen, and I am the Director of Audience Development for Haggerty. So essentially, I hang around and wait for all these car people to talk about their favorite cars that they will never actually own.
So now, why are you an expert, and what is the strategy for picking tonight?
So I manage all of Haggerty's social media accounts. So I like to say that we are democratizing car culture for one and all. Okay. And so I've had the benefit of being around some amazing cars, some cool cars, some not so great cars, particularly with Brad.
Oh, shot fired.
And the strategy here really is to win.
Oh, to win. All
yes.
right. So a big part of winning is having a great team name. So would you like to tell us what your team's name is?
Yes, we are the Socialistas.
Oh, Socialistas. Very nice. All right, Brad, you're up.
Well, tough to follow Julie in this because Socialista does fit her so well. I am Brad Phillips. I'm with Haggerty. I am our Director of Automotive Lifestyle Business Development, which is an incomprehensible title for an incomprehensible job. My favorite thing is talking cars, buying cars, selling cars, being on live streams, doing content stuff all the time. That is where many people have seen me in this background behind me ever since March of last year, coincidentally, which was the last time I got to leave the house. And I'm doing great. I'm really doing great.
So, Brad, why are you an expert? You don't look like an expert with the face you just had on.
Hey, thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. I'm an expert because I have lost money on 40 or so consecutive cars. And I think that really tees me up for success in here. Julie may say she's going to win this thing. I'm just happy to be here.
So what's your strategy?
Well, interestingly, I am privy to a lot of information along these lines. We talk about car values a lot, what's hot, what's not, what's trending. And I have taken all that, bundled it up and thrown it behind me and picked some cars that I just think are really neat. And I tried to keep it under that $1 million cap. So who knows what's going to happen?
Right. All right. Well, what's the name of your team?
I thought long and hard about this. And I am the Crankshafters because it's got a mechanical component to it. And I'm always getting shafted when I sell a car. So it seems to blend in.
That makes sense. Sure. All right. Next up is Ramsey.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ramsey Potts, car specialist with RM Sotheby's. And this is going to be a great time for all of these.
All right. Well, tell us, why are you an expert?
Why am I
an expert?
strategy? So, like Brad, I, at different times in my life, have had what's behind me here is a 69 Volvo, a fleet of essentially absolutely worthless automobiles. The difference being that mine actually don't break down. So I feel compared to at least one of my competitors, I'm qualified. And as a car specialist, I frankly used every possible upcoming consignment that I had that I thought would sell extremely well and picked one of those as well. So I guess I'm using insider information to qualify as a so-called expert.
And I really hate to ask, but what's your team's name?
My team name, which will reveal to you my underlying strategy, is Team Flip Flop. And that is an acronym for Fuel Injected Power Plant for Lots of Payoff. Frankly, I have had my fill of carburetors. We're going with fuel injection from this point forward. And I think that's, other than, of course, one of our classes, everything is fuel injected.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's really good. And I guess I'm last. So I'm Greg Stanley. I'm a consultant for RM Sotheby's, host of the Collector Car Podcast. And that kind of makes me an expert just because I talk about cars every week. And the name, I was going to go with the Fast Gassers at first, but I thought that's probably not too flattering. So I decided to go with Op Lock V Block. Opposite lock, V8 block is where that comes from, in case you're wondering. All right. So thank you for all of you for joining us. Yeah, you like that? I know Ramsey's not a big fan of V8s, but that's okay. That's what makes this fun.
The Swedes find them a little intimidating. So with the Volvo thing,
Okay, so let's figure out our draft picks here. So Julie, pick a number 1 through 4.
3.
All right, Brad.
1.
And Ramsey.
Obviously, I'm going to go with 4.
So that makes me number 2. Oh, man. All right, so number 2 goes first. Number 4 goes second. Let me get this right. Number 1 goes third. And number 3 goes fourth. All right, so I'll go first. We have what Ramsey?
Which one was 1? Which one was 1 again?
Number 1 was number 2.
You're number 3, Brad. You're third.
Number 3.
I'm third.
I'm first. Ramsey.
Second. Yeah.
Brad. And Julie. I just got a headache. All right. Okay, before we begin, I do want to call out a couple other live streaming events coming. If you listen to the podcast, we do this episode called Ultimate Garage, and we're going to have McKeel Haggerty's Ultimate Garage in February for live streaming. And so I'm forcing him to pick 10 cars for his Ultimate Garage. And in March is Wayne Carini, and then I'll be live streaming at some select Concours events. So be sure to stick around and listen to all that fun stuff. And I do want to thank Haggerty and Arm Sotheby's for being such great sponsors of this automotive fun stuff that we're doing here. All right, so now it's time for the rules. All cars must be in Haggerty's valuation database. You can use any value for the car in that condition. So if you pick a value number 3, you need to have value number 3 next time we do the next rounds. All right? Once a car is picked, that is out. It's out for any other category. Can't use that car again. And you must remain under the salary cap of $1 million for draft day, which is tonight. And we'll have 2 bench cars that you can trade out for rounds 1 and 2. And we'll do that on the next rounds. All right. Any questions?
No.
Pretty straightforward.
Let's get started.
All right. So we're going to do the snake method, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, then 4, 2, 3, 1. So let's all remember that.
I'm so confused from the first thing we did. Can we slow that down?
So I got to go first, which I guess is okay. I don't know. All right. So the first category is Italian Stallion. For my first pick, all right, I got 3 choices here. I'm going to pick the 1990 Ferrari Testarossa, condition number 3, valued at $105,000. All right. Ramsey. Trying to remember who's up.
My first pick of the Italian Stallions, a 1990 Alfa Romeo Spider Quadrifoglio, condition number 2, for a grand total of $20,400.
Wow. You're going to have some pocket change.
Oh, I've got lots of that.
All right, Brad.
Well, I think we've already seen exactly what's happening right out of the gate here, because I'm sensing that my 1987 Ferrari Testarossa would not be allowed to be stated because it's the same thing.
Wow.
We've already hit right along the line there. So I now go to my bench, and let's see, what do I want to pick between my other cars?
That's an Italian Stallion.
Oh boy, yeah, it's got to be an Italian Stallion. It's got to be my second or third on the bench here.
This is gonna be a long night.
Yeah, this is all night, right? And I thought I was gonna talk. I had
cars, Brad, in every category.
I've got witty anecdotes and stories and history about how the engines were built on every one of these cars. So buckle up, folks. It's gonna be a long night. All right, we're gonna go with a 1969 Iso Grifo.
Ooh.
All right. Now I have, of course, picked a 7-liter because I like big blocks. And I'm picking a condition 3, which starts me off at a heady number of $444,000.
Wow.
Oh.
Out of the gate.
Big spender.
Right there. Yeah. And Greg, I'll get you for that Testarossa because that's
I'm saving these for later, Brad, just for you. That's pretty exciting stuff.
I can't. What is that? Is that a?
All right, Julie, you're up.
Okay. So I'm going to go with a 1973 Ferrari 246 GTS in a condition number 3.
Ooh, nice.
For $290,000.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that is a good one.
Ed
All right.
warned me about you, Julie. He warned me.
All right, Julie, you're up again. Now we go backwards. So American Muscle. Julie, kick it off.
A 1979 Ford Bronco for condition number 3 for $25,600.
Is that a muscle car, people?
We're gonna say it is.
I would actually agree with you. So I'm gonna say yes. All right. Bradley.
What? But a muscle car, and what was that you picked?
Well, it was American Muscle.
It's American Muscle. It's American.
Muscle.
It's a truck.
I'll allow it.
All right.
All right, Bradley.
American Muscle. I'm noticing no one stole this one from me. How gracious of the group. We have picked the first gen Dodge Viper RT10.
Ooh.
Now, I have
Cat's
gone
already out of the bag, Brad. Cat's already out of the bag.
Not at a number 3 condition.
Oh!
So this is where the strategy comes in. You pick a number 3 because sure, the number 1s and 2s are on a run. Everybody knows that. And what happens to that next level down, Potts? You tell me.
Wait, that train has not.
They get hooked and brought right up with the rest of them. So give me a number 3 RT10 for $33,300.
Okay. All right. Ramsey, you're up.
Well, get out your claws and your daggers because my first American Muscle pick is a 1991 Ford Taurus SHO. Number 1. Yes, that is a muscle.
I would have to agree with you. That's the high point of Ford that year, except for the Mustang. I mean,
That
it was slim pickings.
As good as it got. It was that or the Fox Body Mustang that was so exhausted. And of course, there was the Ford Probe GT. But
no.
The Taurus SHO in a number 1 condition with that Yamaha power plant for $15,500 as a number 1 condition.
Nice. I will have to guess that's on no one else's list.
No
right?
one else. Yeah, well, it's good I didn't get the number 2 because that was the '88 Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. So that would have been ugly.
Okay.
Hey, you can't say you may need that one for another category, my friend. You might want to keep those under your hat.
All right.
All right, my pick, and I've talked about this car many times on my podcast because I think it's bottomed out. It's on its way up. Mopars are super soft right now, so I picked a 1970 Plymouth Cuda AAR. That's my pick for $59,200, number 3 condition. Those have got to turn around. All right, my turn again. Now is Rising Sun, so Japanese. I am going with the 1966 Honda S600 convertible, condition number 3 for $25,300. That's my pick.
Using that Hagerty valuation, very good.
I actually used some of the bull market articles.
Yeah,
back
that's
a little
exactly
bit.
Right. It's
all right. So Ramsey, is that right? Ramsey? Yep.
1991 Honda Civic SI, number 2 condition. So excuse me, the CRX SI. Excuse me, my apologies. The Honda CRX SI for $18,000. In 1991, we had the fuel injection, 4-wheel disc brakes, I think a whopping 105 horsepower. But look, everybody wanted one. They were phenomenal cars back then, and I think they are about to really kick in.
I agree. All right, Brad, you're up.
Rising Sun?
Yes.
Well, let's see. I'm having to rejigger my whole list because of the incredible difference in values and those things, which is part of the fun of this. But let me tell you, I had several choices here, and I am going to go with, oh, brother, a 1991 Toyota Land Cruiser. Okay. This is one that we've talked about on a few things. There have been some bull market list chats about these things, but SUVs are hot, hot, hot.
They are.
And that is, it's a late generation and it's a really good buy. And I have gone ahead and picked that one at a number 2 because I believe in a more modern car, you got to find a better condition. And it's still only $20,000. So why not? $20,000.
That was one of my bench cars. Just knocked it out.
Was it?
Yes, it was. All right, Julie.
Okay, so I missed your pick, Greg. What was it?
Rising Sun.
Yes. No. What was your pick? Because I think I froze for a second there.
Oh, mine was a 1966 Honda S600 convertible.
Okay. All right. So my pick is a 1976 Datsun 280Z at a number 3 condition for $10,700.
Brad's strategy.
Oh, that's insulting.
A rising tide raises all boats, right? Is that
Right.
the idea here?
Right.
Okay.
This
All right,
is
Julie.
like more math than I did in college already. So, doggone it.
Julie, you're up again with Germany. Or Germany.
Okay. This is actually a personal favorite. So it is a 1995 Mercedes-Benz E500, the condition number 2 for $60,200.
I think you might have taken Ramsey out on that one.
All right.
All right, Brad. How's the math coming?
Well, it's coming. It's coming. Fortunately, my German, I had a few options here, and I'm going down to the well of something that I personally found really cool. And I am going 1985 Mercedes 300 TD wagon. Okay.
Is that like $6,000?
Moses.
A number 3 condition car, my friend, is 13,600.
Oh, nice.
Here's the reasoning. You dive into the guide and you see a number 1, woo, a number 2, woo. The difference between a number 2 condition and a 3 condition was like 30-some thousand to like 13. So again, that tells me
Smart.
number 3 condition cars are on the rise right behind them. So
I use that same
plus, I
logic,
think they're
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Really?
good. Yeah.
All right.
You
All
know,
right.
Brad, if your wife calls me and wants to know why you're paying 3 times what a 300 turbo diesel is worth, I am going to explain it to her.
Again, we'll see how this all comes out. I'm real confident on the front end, always.
Oh, this is good.
All right, Ramsey. Dazzle us.
2001 BMW M3 Coupe in a number 2 condition for $41,100. I just think that the earlier M3s are they're skyrocketing. Greg, you saw what we did with that M3 Evo, the Sport, over $210,000 in Arizona. And much like Mr. Phillips' particular approach to this, I believe that the money will now move a little bit upstream. And frankly, my generation, I think that 2001 M3, I just think that is a stunning car.
No, great pick. Have you picked anything older than 1990?
It's fuel-injected power plant for lots of payoff.
All right. I'm the last, and to me, I picked the most obvious, so I'm glad it's still here. 1972 911S, condition 3 for $122,000. I know 911s are a little soft, but you can't go wrong with that pick.
Wow.
All right.
What year was that?
72.
72. Okay. Wow.
All right. I kick off the next one. Future collectibles. My first pick, Brad torpedoed with the Land Cruiser.
Oh, wow.
My third pick, he torpedoed with the Dodge Viper. So I'm going to go with my second pick. 1996 Corvette Grand Sport convertible. Condition 3 for $27,500. Nice job, Brad.
Well, proves I can give it as well as take it. Wait, is that the way that's supposed to go?
Might double check that. All right, Ramsey.
Yes, for future collectible, pick number 1, 2011 Aston Martin V8 Vantage S in a number 2 condition with an average value of $59,300 for Queen and Country. Well, yes.
That was in the Haggerty Bull Market article recently, but it was a 2007. So you actually just torpedoed one of my Kardashian cars. Thank you very much.
Yep, I went with the later S model. I drove one of those about a month ago, and how in the world they are not going to go up in value is beyond me, because they are really, really quite rewarding to drive.
Right. Okay. All right, Brad, you're up.
Okay, don't mind me just rearranging an entire spreadsheet over here because of people's picks.
That's the goal.
It's like you seen the movie Boiler Room? You wouldn't believe the screens I got. Dock tickers everywhere. All right. So my future collectible really shouldn't be that big of a surprise to some of us who have done seminars on this topic, but to some people out there, I believe it is a surprise. So I have picked the 1988 Porsche 924S.
Oh,
now,
nice.
A 924S is the best of both worlds because it's that little narrow body from the 924, but it's got the guts and the heart of a 944 in it. It is the most collectible 924 and a number 3 condition to keep me under a cap that's looming over my head, $8,500.
Nice.
Wow.
It's going to go up. You mark my words.
Nowhere to go with us, Bradley.
Yeah.
Next month, there'll be $500 more.
Yeah, believe me, anybody who knows me is selling everything I'm mentioning right now.
All right, Julie, what is your future collectible? Did Julie freeze?
Uh-oh.
Oh, there she is.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry,
She's back.
I was just so appalled by Brad's pick that I had to walk away for a second. Okay, is it on me now?
Yes.
Okay, so for future collectible, I'm going with another personal favorite. This would probably be my family beach car, a 1962 Fiat 500 Jolly.
Ooh.
In a condition number 3 for $46,600.
Nice. What color?
Oh, pale blue.
Oh, okay. Very nice. All right, Julie, you're back up again. Rear and mid-engine.
Okay. I'm going to go with my birth year, 1985, Lamborghini Jalpa for 60.
Oh, ball.
Beautiful car.
Yeah, beautiful car. Very
Condition number 3 for $62,000.
Nice. All right, Brad. Put your spreadsheets down.
I'm dying here. See, so here's the math problem I made. So I had to go so hard with that ESO. Oh my God, I'm so over on this.
Make them all number 5.
Do we have a let's see, a condition 8 in the price on a lot of these? So rear-engined, mid-engine, that's what we're looking at here?
Yes.
Is he buying time? Is he scrolling?
1 million, Brad. 1 million.
Brad, would you like to phone a friend?
All right.
Don't you work for the company?
God almighty. I'm going to stick with my original one and I'm going to figure it out later, which is my mainstay. 1994 Ferrari 348 TB. Much unloved for a long time. This is a condition 3, which means due for a service. And you can have that for $65,600 all day long.
Wow. All right.
That's a good pick.
I'm still digging a hole I can't get out of. There's no doubt about it.
I think it's my turn. All right. So I'm going to pick a car that's been creeping up. It followed not only the 911 prices, but it followed the 914 prices. The 1956 VW Carmen Ghia, condition 3 for $30,300. Straightforward.
Those are nice.
All right, now it's time for Super Hyper Insane. I don't think I can go wrong with this one.
Wait,
I
think I need to pick a mid-engine, Greg.
Oh, did I skip you?
All right.
Yes.
Oh,
That's okay.
my bad.
As a tribute to my dear friend Ray Schaefer, I will be picking a 1988 Pontiac Fiero GT.
Wow.
Condition number 2, worth $15,900. All I have to do is simply buy his for $25,000 and I win. So that's the plan.
Great pick. Best year of the Fiero.
Yes, it is absolutely the best year.
I don't know if that's saying much, but that is the best year. Okay. Sorry about that, Ramsey.
That's okay, Greg.
All right. So my pick for the Super Hyper Insane, it's been very steady. I don't know if it'll go up anymore, but the 2006 Ford GT Heritage Edition. Grade level 3 for $310,000. All right.
So what condition was that?
3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, I think it goes back around for Super Hyper Insane. Greg, this should come at no surprise to you. My most desirable, most wanted, the 2004 Aston Martin Vanquish. Now, here's the magic. That car in a condition number 1 is a $70,800 car. That has got to be the single greatest value on the supercar market today.
No, that's great. Okay. Keeping with the British.
Yes, sir.
All right, Brad.
Super Hyper Insane. You dare ask me about Super Hyper Insane after you stole my Ford GT?
Yes. Payback.
Same.
yeah.
Stole mine too.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes.
Well, so here's where we get into some fun, kids, because I think super, hyper, insane can mean a lot of things to different people. And my pick for Super Hyper Insane is the 1977 Aston Martin Lagonda Series 2. You name a more insane pick than a car that has no more parts support. You couldn't find a screw for the thing on eBay. Absolutely unrestorable. I love them, particularly in a number 2 condition for $74,400.
Those are only going to go down.
Epically cool. I think they're epically cool. That's that first iteration of that beautiful wedge. Give me
You
my
remember we're picking cars to win, right?
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you wait.
The game, Brad, you're trying to win, remember?
You wait.
We'll see how that plays out for you.
Well, I did just find 200 grand in the budget by doing that. So maybe there's some strategy involved.
Better be good with your bench cars. All right, Julie.
Okay, I'm gonna have to shift some things around too, but I'm gonna go with a 1982 Lamborghini Countach LP 400S
Nice.
for the lovely bargain of $355,000.
There it is.
What condition? 2?
It is a condition number 2. Yes.
Okay. All right. Nice. Well, you get to lead off the super hard category of basically before Truman was president. So pre-1946. This was a hard one, I think, for all of us.
This was a hard one, but I'm going to go with a classic oldie but goodie, a 1930 Ford Model A in a, what is that? I think it's a condition 3 for $19,500.
Okay. That's solid. All right, Brad. He's
Bradley?
furiously working over there.
Oh boy, I may have deleted a column. That's not going to help me out. Okay, so this actually wasn't so bad, and I do actually have a lot of love in this category, right? I did used to own a 1917 car, so I understand what it's like to be able to run faster than the vehicle you're driving. I picked the 1945 Willys CJ2A, your classic military Jeep. Absolutely loved, absolutely on the rise in any category that you could consider a car to be valued in. I defy you to find data different than that. Number 1 condition car, $27,400.
And what year was that?
45.
Okay.
We said 46 and earlier.
Yes. I'm trying to figure out how I can torpedo that choice. All right. Go ahead, Ramsey.
Did you have it somewhere else, did you?
I fear Brad may have nailed that category. Well chosen, Brad. But I'm gonna, for my most expensive pick of the event, 1935 Auburn supercharged Phaeton number 2 condition, $170,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. For mine, I think it was torpedoed, but I need the group to vote. I picked the 1942 Willys Overland MB quarter ton.
Too close.
Do you have a number 2 pick, Greg?
I do, but you took it. It wasn't. It wasn't the open top, but still, it was an Auburn. So I do have a number 3 pick.
Better go for it.
A 1942 Lincoln Zephyr convertible coupe, number 3 condition for $33,000.
That's actually a good pick.
It's not going up,
Yeah.
but it's hopefully
Yeah.
staying steady.
I think that's insane. That's insane.
It is so insane.
But I'm with you. It's insane for a lot of reasons. But
It is so insane. Yeah.
Very good car.
All right. I had 2 torpedoed in that round. All right. I'll start off. Nintendo Gen, also known as Youngtimers, Radwood, something like that. I'm going to pick a 1995 Lancia Delta Integrale.
Wow.
Condition number 3 for $40,500. Beautiful blue one in Arizona last weekend.
Yeah, that's a little insider information there. Well chosen. Next up, I have for my Nintendo generation my second least expensive car, and the only thing that could possibly be worth more than a Ford Taurus SHO would be a 1986 Mazda RX-7, the most unloved of all the generations, the second, a turbo in condition number 2, worth an average of $18,400. Very familiar to people like Brad and I, because that's a rather expensive car.
That's a good pick. Yeah. All right, Bradley.
Okay. Nintendo Gen, you almost gave me a heart attack when you started off with yours, Greg. But I will prevail here. No doubt about it. And this is going to be the one that makes up for my Testarossa, because this is one of my favorite cars ever. Nintendo Gen. Let's talk about a 1995 BMW 850 CSI in a number 1 condition at $208,000. You can go down, but I'm telling you, condition-wise on these things, they're all rolling. Those are awesome, awesome, awesome cars. V12, 380, 90 horsepower, something like that, with a 6-speed. That is a car. That is
Calling flag on this. Do we need to get the accountants? Can you really afford that?
I can. I've got a list. Believe me, I'm going. I'll go over a full accounting.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Post audit coming.
Yeah.
$750,000 just in 2 cars, Brad?
Have you not noticed that all my other cars add up to about a nickel?
All right, Julie, you're up.
Okay. I've been hanging out with Brad a little too much, so I'm going to go with the 1988 Porsche 944 Turbo, in condition 3 for $15,500.
Okay. All right. Good choice. Okay, Julie, let's do it again. Under $30,000.
Okay. A 1977 Saab 99 Turbo in a condition number 2 for $12,500.
Sorry, Brad. That one's out.
Well, I have had many heated discussions with our valuation people, and everyone knows my love of the Saab 9000,
Oh my
which
gosh.
so far is unnamed in our book. I contribute to the National Saab Owners Magazine, and I can't get it in. Are you kidding me? These cars are worth hundreds of dollars. Are you people not paying attention?
Hundreds.
I tell you. All right, Brad, you're up.
Me? Under 30 grand?
Easy.
Well, you're going to like this. All right. 1968, because I think one of our picks ought to be before 1970. I'll admit, this resonates with me because I kept picking cars, but okay, what are the ones really on the rise? A lot of this newer stuff's on the rise. Okay. 68 Subaru 360.
Oh, come on.
Nope. Because when you pick one on a number 3 condition value, it's $29,800.
Oh, nice
Ooh.
play.
Let me tell you, those are going up, my friends. Those are iconic. They're a ton of fun. They're little tiny thanks. Everybody loves them. They're real cute.
You're welcome from Elkhart, Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Under 30,000. A 2004 Porsche 968 Coupe in a number 3 condition for $22,500 because I bought one. It's being delivered on Thursday, and I'm going to need the value to go up as much as possible as I begin to just pour money into it.
Nice. What color?
It is black, coupe, 50,000 miles, and it has literally not moved 1 inch in 13 years. So it's probably going to bankrupt me, and I'm going to need all of our fans to try and raise the value.
So next time we do this, we'll be able to see it in the background, hopefully not on lifts.
Yes, you will.
Okay. For my pick, for under $30,000, and I was scared to death somebody was going to pick it, from the bull market list, 2000 Audi TT Quattro in number 1 condition for $23,500.
That's a lot of car for the money.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right, last one, Kardashian. Now, there might be some, fisticuffs here. How do you define Kardashian luxury? Well, I defined it as with a 1968 Mercedes-Benz 600 Pullman.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. I like those things.
That's cool.
Condition number 2, $214,000.
You're making up ground in the other direction.
Greg, what did we sell that for? For 200
3 something.
3
Yeah.
something? God bless. I should have been a little bit more devious here. For my Kardashian pick, going back the other direction, a 2006 Bentley Continental GT in a number 2 condition, because I just don't see how you can buy how much longer a beautiful British 12-cylinder can only be an average of $40,300 for, I would like to point out, Brad, a grand total in all 11 of my unfettered picks, $492,200. I have $507,000, Brad. If I could give it to you, I would, but too bad.
Wow.
Wow.
I get it. I
I
get
had
it.
like 10 grand left. Okay, Brad. You look like you got the thinking cap on.
Well, I do, because I realize I've got a little more money than I thought I did, because I'm furiously driving in. So I gotta tell you, what's the penalty if we do our math wrong and at the end we find that we didn't have one? Do we want to do? I mean, this is the last of it. We want to do a special check on one of these things.
I don't know.
Because
What do y'all think? My thought is just knock a grade down on a car.
No, you can't. The cap is $1 million.
Yeah, if you got to knock a grade down, another condition could be a number 4 instead of a number 3.
Yeah, that's what I got to do. All right, so here we go. So my luxury car, and you have to admit that it's luxurious because of all the leather, the air-conditioned appointments to it. Matter of fact, you can get leather on every surface of this vehicle if you so chose. Various special works programs. And I am going with the 1987 Porsche 930 Turbo, which is incredibly iconic, not only as a sports car, but as a luxurious vehicle.
No, Bradley.
I got a flag on the play.
I'm gonna say no to that one as well.
Absolutely not, Phillips.
What?
No.
You're going to make me pick my original pick and leave $48,000 on the table.
Well, Randy's leaving 500 grand.
On us, Brad Phillips. No.
You know what? I'm so confident that I'm still going to win this thing. I'll stand by my original pick. Are you ready for my actual luxury pick?
Yeah.
As we've dragged this thing into its 3rd hour. You're all welcome, everybody. The 1986 Jaguar XJS V12 HE coupe, $26,600 in a number 1 condition.
That's a good pick.
I do believe that XJSs are about to get some real love. You look at what Series 3 E-types are doing right now, and it's going to carry it right on through. Really, I wish I thought I could just bump it up, and I'm like, oh, I already picked the number one in that. Yep.
No, that's a good pick. If that had
You guys really weren't going to let me have a 930 turbo as a Kardashian luxury car? You
No,
really
Brad, we
lit
were
the
not.
fire that way, did you? Really?
They called it the Widowmaker, Brad. There's nothing luxurious about it.
All right, Julie, to close it.
All right. So clearly none of you have ever actually watched the Kardashians.
I have not.
I think we should all tell what our final total was, because
after Julie.
Yes. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
this is the last pick. This is my Kardashian luxury pick. It is a 1958 Cadillac Eldorado Barrettts
Nice.
That's nice.
in a condition number 2 for $80,000.
Nice. Okay.
Good pick.
Okay, if you've all have done your math, I've got to do a little bit here, but I got it figured out.
Sorry, I said mine too soon.
I have left in my cap $11,400.
I have left over $507,800.
No, you
Read
the
Ramsey.
rules.
Ramsey.
Nowhere to go but up, friends. Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, but all right.
We'll see how the strategy works.
It is a strategy. Is it percentage increase or is it total dollars at the end?
Dollars.
Yeah, so you've got to.
Percentage.
Ramsey's already got to make up like $500,000 before he even gets to where we're starting from.
Percentage.
You know, I figured a guy like you would be all into reading contracts.
Come on.
Well, you do have a bench car you can plug in there for the next round.
That's true. You could. Mhm.
Just one.
Yeah.
Right
So
back
I
down.
have 22,400 left.
Good. Okay. Brad?
I have 48,800 left, which is
Oh, that pains him.
because I had it, my first with you pirates hadn't gotten all involved in that. I had a $400 differential between the million. I mean, I was like balancing the family checkbook.
Wow. That's awesome.
And I had to scramble sweatily throughout this whole thing. Thanks.
Well, we have 3 more of these to go. So thank you all for joining us. We will have another one in May and September, and then we'll have the Super Bowl in January. So if the listeners would like to join us, just go to collectorcarpodcast.com or email me or one of these guys, and we'll send you all the information. You have to join us by April the 1st. If we have enough folks, we'll have some brackets and have some good times with this. So any last-minute comments from any of the team players here?
Overall, I'd say the crankshafters feel confident.
How do the fashionistas feel?
The socialistas feel
Oh,
good.
socialistas.
That's okay. I think we feel good. I think we had some surprises in there, so it'll be good.
Well, how do the flip-floppers feel?
You know exactly how the flip-flopper feels right at the moment. I think the 3 of you got your little cabal going here, and you changed the rules halfway through.
Oh, you're so confident coming in.
Yes, I was. I mean, one car could have gone up $1,200 in value, and it would have been a 20% increase. I thought for sure I had this wrapped up.
Ramsey, a lot of people go down in the basement to catch a helicopter. We can understand your mentality, your strategy. It's going to work out just fine for you.
So your bench pick car for the next round will be key to your success. So good luck with that.
It's worth $282,000.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could come back from that very simply with one big honking car.
Definitely.
Definitely. Don't be discouraged, Ramsey.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining. We will do this again in May.
All right.
All right. Thank you
guys.
guys. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
night. Bye.
All right. That's it. All right. We lost Julie. Thanks, guys.
Are you kidding me? I thought this was percentages.
Remember, I had the example. If you got 50 grand, you saved it, and then the next month it added to it.
I'm sorry,
minus-
I've been busy trying to, grow the business and help you succeed, Greg, as a specialist for the RM.